continue your chores, whatever it is you're doing. Do not worry, bapo wake back riba YouTube e Facebook di Kulefam, nossa live agora aqui, nossa live também riba Kulefam sa website. Anto si watching videos is not really your thing, and the just escucha a podcast version. Do not worry, it is available. Jamars riba Apple Podcast, Spotify, or whichever platform you use. There's no worry, no panic. Sibo catch it, anto buno por catch it full. So. Hello, Audrey.
Good morning.
Good morning to you too. Audrey, un stranger to Sincerely Carolina, but please, by all means, reintroduce yourself. Tell us why you're here today, what do you do, and why you're going to be talking to us about this topic.
Okay, well, my number ta Audrey Kan. I'm a doctor in clinical psychology. What that means is basically, I went to school, so for many, many years, diagnostica, assessment, and as well treatment of various disorders. I also by Papa the ADHD in adults. Why? Because it's not really prevalent voral na Aruba ku hindi grani to konosi of get diagnosed with ADHD, and that's starting to change. And it's a very important conversation to start having. Okay, what does that look like versus different other types of disorders?
Thank you for that very nice introduction. Pero sì, mi te quiere ku ting hobicos going on at the same time. Ku propone ku hina ting interesse na topico aqui. One of them being the internet.
Yes.
Mi te quiere nos tour by now awak asibat on social media na ni case. Se asibat riba TikTok of Instagram, mi te siguri maybe that's on Facebook. Awak short videos na reels ng kuta papia di diferente topico ng di salud mental in general, e diferente kondisyon ng pero contenido for adults. Dus batawak bijvoorbeeld, mita un adulto ku XYZ, anto mita hasi tal kos. Dus mita kere ito nice, so para na sans ku nos besta wak mas contenido di kosang ku antes uno nos nota tapapa di gele of escucha di gele, pero a la vez elabira mane un laundry list or a checklist based on social media reels and videos, anto kuhende ta bezig ta duda si whether or not nanti un kondisyon of no. So I do think it's important manos papia un tikiri ba gele. Are partabo po konta no so dikiti kiko ADHD in general, and I will go from there.
Well, ADHD in general, the name has changed over the many decades that it has been present. This opihende ay natabi sa ADD, which is DSM no ta usa mas. So awata ADHD anto tin tres diferente tipo. So ADHD ta attentive deficit hyperactivity disorder. What people think about it when hearing that name, itong mucha, specifically mucha hammer, kuno po sinta quieto, kuno por concentra, kuta hopi lastig den class. Is it typically the number one concern kung mitaskucha the others. But that's one version of it, right? Is it a hyperactivity, impulsivity, ADHD. Then you have the inattentiveness. Esa mas di what's going on in the brain. Esa hopi mas tamakan ku executive functioning, so getting started on things. Quedando interesado en algo, being present in the moment, not, being distracted easily de un conversation. Anto hopi bia esa get mixed up with autism, right? So there's a lot of layers to it. Hopi biyahe na takire si bo not diagnosed as a child, then you don't have it as an adult. But many times people learn to mask, right? Anto of a lot of times you have families ko ayudando bo studia, pushando bo dilante. So it's not until you get to high school or others the more loss. Okay, bayaga high school, now it's on you, and then you start seeing the grades drop. Of college, when they're away, inanoting a support system, then you see the difference. Voral ku hende muhe. So last week, toevallig bapuntrami, the ADHD in adults, not ma participate in summit, the ADHD. And almost everything was about girls and females. ADHD kuta un new research topic. Interesting tawti un senyora of un doctor di Holanda ko present. Apparently, I wasn't aware that hormones plays estrogen to play un significant role for females. Ding ADHD symptoms anto phases ng your period ting affect riba si medikasi by trapabo of not during that time. Iting perimenopause as well it impacta this. I did definitely learn a lot of things, specifically women and ADHD, until how our bodies react to how that impacts the brain as well.
That's very interesting, pasobra for several reasons. Pero mi te quiere only biggest reasons ang taku ding mundo medico in general. Ting hobi mas research kuta bezig ta waro hasi pa differentiate tambe differences nan ding kung curva de hene homem e curva de hene mulher process medication maneira ba cabe mencionar, right? Kung react na certa coisa nan dosages antes tata dessa idea que também é importante peso pero kung nos curva da processing things tambe diferente anto for the longest time voral mi te quere tambe ding condition ng di of trastorno di saúde mental nos tapapia di hopi estudio ng kawara hasiri bahende homber anto models kawara traha based on studies basta dus me dá hopi interesting pa escuta essa aqui pa sobre botar waku tem shift den maioria de condição botar waku shift que tem research pero sina interessante pa waku algo que assina normal maneira o menstrual cycle mister anto mane as soon as you say it, kind of makes sense, right? Pero ku agora que tem massive stories, anto ku bomester take, a whole person into account ora ku
not just symptoms. You just see it until you say, no, it's like eating ADHD of no. You have to look at the bigger picture. So for females, the average age of diagnosis is 40 years old.
Wow.
And that is right the period of perimenopause. So you don't have the ability anymore to mask. Kasi ito algo ko hindi mujer siya hasi di hopi chiquito. Right? Masking the difference in the hormones. So it is an issue with neurotransmitters, this ADHD. Anto kia sa itin damakan that we have, or people with ADHD, they have less dopamine, anto less norepinephrine, and those things that affected through hormones as well.
Okay.
So women 40 years average, and they're trying to change that. Anto aspect ko magusta di presentation di Dr. Di Holanda tamane we listen. This is what the women were telling us, and we're listening and we're doing the research. And gran parte that taking in a menstrual cycle, right? So people who are on medication and the bisa a lunar phase, this last phase, the cycle, the medication doesn't work for us anymore. So nanta actually trying to change a dosage pata mas halto din that phase.
Dus no kweta gis mane turdia mit bebe pill or whatever, pero eta okay. Primeira semana, ou primeira 3 semanas, para ter pill, último semana, para ter right? Para dos or whatever, pero
or higher dosage. E também nanta purbando di waxi pa hindi muhe kubo nota kita di pill. There's no break in between.
Okay.
But regulate those emotions. Pero esa ita a whole conversation about medication, because sometimes medication doesn't work. Mita kere voral na aruba a conversation surrounding medication ta algo ko hopihin eta tegen.
Okay.
Which is okay. You don't have to take the medication. It depends how you can help yourself. Si boto de un position where you've tried therapy, you've been diagnosed, but hasi bo CBT, but hasi behavioral therapy, they're not working. There are other ways as well.
Okay.
Ting more organic way, but to take other supplements, pakuminsa. So there's a list that you can check off before you get to, okay, I've tried everything, it's just not working. Kubota ariba pa medikasi. And the most people don't know it, there's a wachtlijst, a very long one, for you to be able to get medikasi.
Dus by the time ko pensa, oh my gosh, man, nothing else is working out until mita by over pa essay. Then you still gotta wait a bunch of time until
Well, I know adults specifically because it's not algo kuta waro mira como very serious or severe mental illness, you're on a waiting list for 2 years.
Wow.
Ting hopi hene ku mi conoce ku tamane no mi haisar sa no sa bay no sa mane karta no mabay pa wax mi pasong sita inabisa na een 1,5 jaar tot 2 jaar wachtlijst. So those are also the things that op Aruba we miste por pensa arriba.
So do not wait until things get like really messy of concerning. So se da hope interessante anto genuinely mita contento pa escucha ku mas y mas these conversations being had basta ding summits ang pero ding mundo aquí anto ku everything's connected, right? De nos corpa anto mita sinti for the longest time nos to focus riba physiological health anto then even si nos focus on tigriba mental health ito man disconnected das ito man okay nos vai trabalhar riba dos coisas parte sendo que porta costam que tá passando tem either or tá related das me contento para escutar com mais e mais você tem perspectiva eigenlijk die você cuidado integral que pode echt bij wak fulle persona pero before we go into like those details what does ADHD look like pa un adulto kung nunca na awara diagnosticado? De maneira para mencionar, me te querer algo mencionar before mo chamar chiquito, basta na druk etc. Ting mayor ng of school ng curry ta mane oh my god, mister por ting ADHD anto bang man de wax ita say. Pero at the same time tame bo por ting otro henang ko da just bisa tame ay ta jisu mo chamar do ne on chance, right? Mo chamar ta druk inanta fastioso inanta mane gusta hunga whatever. Kiko, what does that translate to?
For an adult.
De un adulto. Parang hammer, pero I mean, na que momento un adulto tabi sa mane, oh my gosh, por dami mister ayudo. Anto of me to figure out why it is that I can't do that.
When it comes to adults, nos tawag tres cosas. So procrastination is a big one. And not just na trabaho, of just na school, it's about everything, within everything in your life. Misami din ko hasi asaki, pero minota hasi ate ora misa, a pressure is there, and then I get it done. But that, ita traha avarax or ita algo pasinya. So if you're studying the day before, hindi ko adi dating issues ko, working memory. Memory ting hopi tamakan ko in the moment, remembering now. Not things that happened 5 years ago, not things that happened 10 years ago. Mane, bato karay biyaki, masabay ang konsierto, anto, inanta kara to ko specifically. Pero si bapunto na, kiba ko me ayera? Ito mane, I gotta think about that. About the kara or na sa papi di tal ko. Mane, no. But then afterwards, at the comeback, but maybe the day after or a few hours. But working memory, ta algo ko we look at when we're diagnosing. Kiko mas ta distractibility. How quickly can you be distracted? And not just about what's going on outside. Like, see, auto tapasa, mitabirawak. It's about in your mind. How quickly are those thoughts coming up, Pabo? Okay, hindi nga sa akin, isay. Bato kumisa ko ungkos, bato bira pa hasing otro kos, balubida, kiko pa tatasiyan na promem. And then it's like, wait, it all gets too overwhelming. Asa, if it comes to dishes, putting away the groceries, making a list, those 3 things to become impossible for someone. Kuting ADHD, they have been struggling with it langdurig.
Okay.
The last thing is forgetfulness. I forgot what you said. I forgot this. I forgot mita by supermarket, miting mi lista, malagay lista ding auto, mita inang misama just by papang. Kos mi estra busca. But end up tagasta siya pico floring, llega kas, una pang, minabay ke kumilista, so malubida kumi mestra hasi essay. So with adults, those are the 3 things, a PDF that we look for.
Okay.
An adult. It will look different for men and women, but typically it tres cosas nita universal.
Dus mita harif so mita escucha esa aquí y of course oh my gosh, that sounds like me. As long as mi casa, I can hear people say that, right? Mabisela nos 5 baitar caminando, no te acorda. Por simplemente tal que persona no te interesa momento, pero mi te quiere sí que es importante para quieto na to the point que es concerning, right? Pues sobre of course, yung hena kaya contesta pa un diagnosis, by all means, go get it,
Yeah.
right? May te lo cual ko ta hasi ho bibiyaha algo ko ta concerning of ko ta un sign ko pa help na momento que ta disruptive to your life, right?
Yes.
Anto na momento que, por exemplo, bota sinti que uno bono por confia po mensa of outra gente bisa pero ko chele bo que bisami ko bo echt no por corda pa ki ko babay supermarket.
Sí.
Basta sa ka pasa un pari biyaha kaba anto minota haya normal mani.
Yeah.
Aha.
It is around shame. That's when
Yeah.
people of age not to come from themselves.
Mhm.
So we're all hard on ourselves. But it get mane to the point where okay, mi takabando ko mi mes so ham atrobe mi na mit edat la mi sami mes rasi saki. Di ko nga email aki atuma 10 minute ino 2 minute awo mi talat pesaki. So yakaba but basically you're being hard on yourself.
Mhm.
And then you have people outside mane hambo atrobe bono to escuchami ora mi papia bono to comprende bono tin yung interest. It's a lot of it's coming from other people. And that's when it becomes an issue. So yakaba but struggling and other people are pointing it out, and then ita comienza lead to depression, anxiety, other relationship issues, interpersonal issues. So that's most people come for those issues, and then ita mane, okay, wait, let's take this back. And this is not something could happen in adulthood. It does start from childhood because it's not appear out of nowhere. It's always been an issue, but at some point people they're making you feel very bad about it because they're seeking assistance for something else. So ora hende being tamane si tal ko tamane okay then mi entig mi sa duna dos assessments say look at a lot of different things. Say tamane hey but ever notice this and to tamane see okay let's look at that, let's look at this separately and to what you could overlap and not. And if there's a question of, okay, is this ADHD? Is it autism? Is it something else? Then like, hey, let's test it out. And that's how we get to a diagnosis. Of hinatawakri ba TikTok, of Instagram, basta mo saki, and meeting issues na awo. Then it's more, okay, well, how was it in childhood? Ki ora ela start. So when it's something cool, start out of nowhere, then we know, okay, it's not ADHD.
Okay.
There is another reason for it. ADHD, there's no reason for it. It's just present. Si ita algo otro ko, no, después de saki, then we know it's something else.
Dahaya topi interesante ko ba mensiona kiko porta triggers no ko hena ta end up ta basta ta busca un ayudo anto mi te quiere interpersonal relationships indeed porta un gas pa sobra by all means, mi te quiere ko dori social media non sta romanticize hopi cos, anto hopi conditions, anto non sta make it seem mane. It's almost like cool of hip babo thing, mane un condition fagasina. Pero generally speaking, nan ta 13 challenges. Anto of course challenges nan por waro mitiga, anto por siya cope, pero once ko bata de un interpersonal relationship, e not solamente e persona ko pero it's everybody around them.
Yes.
Dus, basta ora ba mention ako sang manera kung hena talubida. Nota ko hena porta kerta negi of algo sina, pero I can imagine si bota dealing kung persona ku weeks on end or whatever, gewoon non por stick to basta algo super simple manera busca ipang on their way home paseta lubida. E por sinti man basta ko otra persona nota doing their part of yeah, it's a problem, no? Make them a casa until we still needed the bread until now we gotta do this next extra step of si bota spending a lot, si bota impulsivity side. Tuturi ko sa aki ko por causa issues, challenges lang. Thus by all means, may tabi sa I'm sure there are ways kung spo have conversations ko ta basta no based on shame pero una ko ba protect your concern no ta hurtful in that process pero mi te quiere si ko nos me ta consciente ko si hena nan ta bezig ta bisa nos ko something ko we are doing ta repetitive anto no conform the norm, then maybe give it some thought. Vooral si ta pasando ina kas, ina trabaho, eco friends, basta, then maybe listen, basta, and to maybe consider it as a sign, and to maneba pisa e porta algo who has always been there, but for some reason through childhood handed out a mas tolerable to it. Of e porta ko algo a trigger something else, and then by all means also, you know, check out what that is and to figure that out. So kiko to kosang ko if anything but a sinti hene ta being and to talk about it and to nang nota pensa at all ko is porta related to nang ADHD.
Mita kere mas ita being from the other perspective, from other people.
Okay.
So hopi biyaha, we say things before thinking, and we don't take other people's feelings into consideration, right? So eore patahay ang hene ko they shut down. They stay quiet in a social situation, paso nang sa abya pasa sakya pasa. So it's a lot of that overthinking. Kubutawak mood ta shift ko cierto hende, paso na ponebo sinto cierta manera. And you're just overthinking, am I talking too much? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? What am I gonna say? But prepara pe conversation, anto un hende ta haya chance pa papi prome kubo, anto oreyega na bober mada. I forgot what I wanted to say. Anto hopi hende ta haya say the worst. It's not about being distracted or anything. It's about forgetting in the moment. What was I gonna say to be part of a social gathering? Okay, I'm putting myself in this situation. Mita stoting me mes off. Nanta by kere mi not interesa. So then it goes again into internal perspective di bumeas and what's going on there. So a lot of the times, yes, we do have an issue with letting people know how they make us feel in a nicer way. Kung enota attacking, kasi hobi biya or nosta fada, or no sila persona sa humble, pero nunca bota escucha, nunca bota bisa kiko bota bayhasi, bo sempre pelubita, ra. Then they're already feeling bad enough. So then it's like an added, you're bad. And the parte eta where most people stay stuck in.
Okay.
Anto ita the negative side, the ADHD.
Mita kere tambe is it where stuff like anxiety e depression porque que no ko hopi ta pensa could these things happen by themselves. Ita hopi comum pa hena nang ku kondisyon na manera ADHD.
But OCD tama ta very much dual diagnosis.
Yep.
Hindi na think about. Yes.
Get to know me 101.
Because you've always been told you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you need to be better in doing that. So but come up with not come up with the okay, sakit ba inang pasusino ta inang yung tayo sundra. Meaning ko hasi sakit ABCDE. It's more of an OCD personality type. No? You know, if I don't do this, something bad's gonna happen. But it comes into play. So, but making sure but crossing all the T's to make sure na lang ito by fault. Kung ino ta bo fault. Kasi yung otra gente has a fault. Okay, thank God, it's not mine. You know?
Ito yung gevoel ko bono ta confia po meas, right?
Yes.
You know, sunong ko escucho semana pasada, I did mention that. Anto de mi caso, ese tata ting, no, ku un diagnose bing mas después que otro. And then ito pero eigenlijk, you know, they were together the whole time, pero fine. Anto ita I live by lists. Anto ita this vicious loop almost. Onda ku mi gewoon no confia mi mes mas yung list. And I porta 3 coisas. I porta comida by supermarket pa 3 coisas, and I will write the 3 things down. Pa sobra, I will literally forget. And to rete sindi fastioso, pa sobra, but may concha, kung bono cara e 3 coisas não kuba go there for, like, you know? And to once in a while, but not even on purpose, but a test will bring kasi, but I can do it without the list. And then but I have a list, and but oh man, man, malupita 1, 2 coisas medyo toch, basta?
Just bisando po mes ese, yabahin ka po mes un aggressive state.
And then, you know, you're in the loop, the overthinking, anto dinge caso but haya, right? Por 13, very intense, intrusive thoughts lang, por trigger un suiting behavior ko nota necesariamente gezond, anto porta hobby difícil. Anto mita full mitigo bisa ko idea di basta ko ba din parents support system anto ko certo situations tang por trigger different feelings. I can totally relate to the idea di man okay mitigo wara may birth pasobra enough people have told me ko mita kong paperiba nang falgasina pero ita literally I know I will forget so basta tori bata wara about birth anto si minoski bie o falgo by the time que me birth mismo ne no me antes nada mas de bisa
Yep.
anto it's both things that either I forgot of me I lose interest mane porta a conversation and net shift un tiki onda com minuto interesse mas de conversation anto mismo I don't want to add to it anymore basta mane
Sí, ando después gente de manera, oh.
Anto, but my brain is not there anymore. Yeah, exactly. It's not about you. Anto, essa persona ti ora hopi frio pa ubi sa un hende, pero hopi hende sa ding interpersonal relationships sa purba di comprende un otro hende su behavior and to relate it to them. To bitikere unja kos ng mas importante pa sinya ora ko bota, but yung loved one, whether it's a friend, un family member, un pareja, kuti yung kondisyon ng ADHD, understanding is not about you. Anto, the sooner...
That's hard. That's hard to say to someone.
I know. But I feel like the sooner you do realize that in a good way, right? Mita quiero ko ba tabay approach situations ko hope mas compassion e understanding imbes ko ba tabay ding bumi as bubble e pensa ko man di kong ano gustami of di kong di repente ela fresco ko. It's not about you. It's not about you.
I'm rejected.
Yeah, totally. Ato viro sa mi hobby to escuchando, pero like, you know, we went through that as well. Anto, nos later by therapy pa understand this eh. Pa mita to hope importante para mí con sa casa pa comprender que this is how my brain works. Anto, it's probably not gonna change, you know. Anto, ko ting hopi kos lang ko mita pensa pa un happy long married life. No,
I understanding.
Ko tabay ting kos lang ko porta tabay ta weird, a little different, pero it has nothing to do with you, and it has more to do ko kung basta brain ta function. Anto, you know, ko ita just even and it porta basta a little meltdowns the adult version, right? Ora ko
Sí, emotional lability ta algo ko not at DSM, but in adults it's very much. That's one of the things we look at too. Mane, okay, kung lihe algo po get under your skin. Porta bota just sintando un camina anto di ba na po ta escucho gente ta kao ko ng boca abrir. Sorry guys, that's my pet peeve, right? And the oh my god, there's no reason for it. He's living his best life, or she's living their best life, enjoying a sandwich. Yeah, mitikinanang for no reason getting worked up, right? So that's something as well. Kuta hopi difícil pa hindi ko ADHD regular. It's that emotional ability. Like, okay, let's not react with big emotions, think it through, but it goes from 0 to 100.
E porta the randomest things, no? But the things ko otro gente ta pensa mane, oh, now is the time where you should be upset. Of now is the time where mane, I don't know, you should be sad. Of mane, really happy, but mane, meh. And then like this really weird stuff. Si mama sama conta istorya aki ato mita hanya echt mane the perfect example, pero mita type of person ko mane hobby mane big life events, by all means I am happy wasa to mita excited, pero mita hobby I guess not. Yeah, minuto show like all of it, like I don't cry easily. Basta it's mane I don't know, dogs or babies or whatever. Like I don't.
Then you'll cry.
No, I don't.
No,
no, not at all. Like literally, I don't. Mane na mi portate un film of algo mane I can see why people would cry now, but it doesn't happen, right? Pero pari ay basa mi tikere man dos I'm sa for New Year's Eve mahaya mabuska episa glitter nang ko pone din koi bebe ante hasi mane koi bebe super cute. Anyway, so sa naruba ando tin ora ko sandam tiki muilik pa mahaya final store ko ta tin ko logo mi ta kyar pronanta tin mane dos patches, which obviously I bought. Anto but that was the thing. Anto, siguro mita sa Christmas or New Year's Eve. Point is, mahusa na pa undi events ni. Anto, ora di ba mo meti un camino una cosa anta buy, so I have learned to be organized. Dori ting mane bins e places for everything. The moment something does not have an assigned place, it lives in the void. Anto, das mita sa mane, okay, pasyo sa kinang, anda ting ko buy, nan suluga back, right? For the next event. anto mita bane, I do not see it.
Oh.
Mane mita bane, mino po wak pochi, mino sa, so mita comincia a punta around, right? Pero mita in panic kaba. Mita in panic mode, uno nota onda, eto supposita, e mi sa ko amiso a deal con ele, so by now my whole family knows me, anto nan sa ko if there's something special, nas ba just like karong handle it, paso, you know, she touch it, like don't touch it, basta? So mita ta full bane, so ma comincia a punta mita bane, hey, aba ko pochi, bane, no, hindi no shit, you know, you were, I know, but wag pa siya because it's not where it's supposed to be. Anto, mi sobrina, which is kind of funny, e tempo, e mi tkare tati mane, just on Jesus, ito full mane, tanti caro porque a mi udava busca, so ela wak, she knows what is about to happen, yeah? Anto ela bai, se ka mi kasasa, se ka mi ela, tamane, oh, mil, tanti caro no pain, so pode glitter. Ato, tamane, oh no. Ato, the full mane, oh my god. Aha, tamane, oh my gosh, okay, this full family moto buscando e pode glitter, right? Ando mi maior na bai kaba, dus mi sobrina of mi casada mane. Pasa mi casama abo mama tamane remove e banda, just call her up and see. Hey mama, of course no sa kwa pode glitter, but she did not pour drinks the whole night, so tamane I'm trying just remove mi na wa com pode glitter. Mi tamane say that you pode glitter. Mi mama tamane I don't know, mane best they can do ta si mi remove eta dinga saco di sushi com mi remove, you know, like ando mi casako mi sobrina. Vai buscar sake sushi and to open it up and to I was like complete panic, right? Mane mi want that I ko awa and to look mane as I am telling this story it sounds absurd I mane bananas ku
to you?
Yeah,
or to others?
No, because I mean si un otro gente probably contami a similar story me lo mane whoa, you were that upset about un pache glitter mane pero eta mane I cannot explain it to people. By all means, if I could choose a superpower, me lo choose pa just touch hand yan to lagang sako mita see. Yeah. But so it's so hard to explain. Pero Maya, at the same time afterwards, this was na haya set pa glitter, denga sako. This mi sobrina ko sa go through set sako, haya pa glitter. Mane almost immediately ma calm down. Anto, basta mabisa na mane, oh my god, hope sorry ko like I made y'all do this. And technically I didn't make them do it. So I mean, obviously, I ko ba itong sako? Pero basta, wait, the full money, the full money,
they
no.
knew the consequences.
Yeah. It's like, we know this, Anto, if this is part of us being in your life, I guess we'll go through the bag, Anto, find a poche glitter, pa sobra, but not by drumi, you're not gonna be able to function till you know what happened to a poche glitter, right? Anto, metabisa, it's hard sometimes for outsiders perceive sad
100%.
situation,
Yeah.
I understand, I treat it as compassion. Pero mi por imagina ko any outsider, si for whatever reason ang tao na mi kas sad day, nang luto auto mane Carolina hasi normal, anto jaluna of whatever dia ka lugar habri back, but by waki otro kolon ang tiento, but just comprehend, like let it go, right?
Kung essay lo a kind of impact you.
No,
in that moment.
Milo mane, you never get to come to my house again, probably.
Exactly.
But now I'm an adult and I get to make those choices.
Mm-hmm.
So.
For me, that's a beautiful story.
Yeah, okay.
Right? Because at a show, okay, they know what's going on, nanta aware di bo triggers nang, nanta aware di bo reactions, and they know how to pakitaan. Right? As opposed to most other people wouldn't do that. Ita pa so you've had those hard conversations.
Yes.
You've been able to tell them, listen, this is what's going on, this is what I need from you in certain moments.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So a lot of people don't get to do that and they don't get that. So kiko pasa, lagi glitteram, just cumpre otro dia. You're the one upset, your night is ruined, and you're probably gonna be alone in your room crying about it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's a beautiful story. Po akong bo familia, po mane come behind you and help you out.
Yes, I know Carmen could noting times onda ko buting ko have those conversations again. Sempre bisa hende, basta si buta kis pating hende mobida e ora botong adulto bota kis pating by volvo maior ande mobida, right? You don't have to have them. Sa saki porta persona mane hopi duro pa hopi hende, pero people have choices.
But I preach it all the time. Toxic out.
Yes, exactly. So mita pensa, mita kiss pa to my parents in my life, meeting really good relationship ko nang by all means. But I say que man ko amna zoveel tijd portating algo ko, they have known me literally my whole life, right? But there are new situations in life ko tabay trigger a new behavior or something. Anto they don't know how to handle it either. Anto rin basta it's a process di komunika. mi casa, nos ting hopi tempo ko otro, pero still, you know, it is only that period of time di full mi vida, dus po escucho storia na falgo, pero eta 13 otro, you know, understanding, so conocemi como adulto only, dus pouco a pouco botou portar a constituição, tu botou wow, this, I don't know what this is, it was weird, pero llega na ponto de confiança, falgo que bopo bise hene. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. It literally has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It is not about you. But I need some space and time. And of me not attacking mo. I nota ko abo the base to bother me. Of mi tinete asa como mi sobrina, which is really funny because mi tigo adjust my language. Anto mas chiquito. Anto ti ora mi te punta na algo. Mi nota haya no straight answer. Anto mi brain te gewoon mane. I need a straight answer right now. Basta. Anto mi tigo akbisa nang mane. Noto ko bitapsat kubo jis mi brain no hayando local ko mestera agora aqui para seguir a conversação aqui des me mestera para even think about what I am asking you anto si bon not yung contesta para is also fine but tell me that and then we can move forward pero uno mi mestera assim dori a lot of years if the like therapy anto was assim coping mechanisms como communicate those things but what I do want to say with that is que it porta really hard pero si boso ta como uma família basta pack up uma situação assim na maneira we want everybody in this family basta to feel seen, to feel heard, and to feel understood, and to nos turkia contribuir na miho basta environment, miho mane ambiente familiar, then we're all gonna have to put some work and to no ko mane, and I have heard this before ko hela tabi sabo mane pero di kong amitin ko adapt na abo. You know, it's like, why if you're the one who's like the weird one or the different one, why do we have to adapt to you? Like, why don't you adapt to us?
Si no kami de movida, then I understand that. But a relationship is two ways.
Yeah.
The same thing nang tingo comprende how you work and what works best for you, it goes vice versa. Imitakere that is hard to do. Voral si tahene ko wala constant bosa you
like co-workers me por imaginar ko esaki por um trigger pong hende tambe situação de trabalho
co-workers, friends, bosses, like say yeah, you don't have to go around telling everyone, hey, I'm meeting ADHD, I'm meeting Yasaki, I'm meeting Yasei, but the people that you do work close kukubuta wak hating impact on that relationship, it's important to have a conversation about it. So eu reporta honesto mane, listen, si misa dos imam pasama bisa mi was super excited to go out of pa-idenarki, but I'm sorry. Mi echt. And it's about mi echt no por, and it's about a reaction. Basta si bata mane, ba atrabe bata hasi Asaki, y ahora bata mane, oh, okay. Mi homi nunca más hasi un plan si mi que cambie. So then you get that kind of relationship instead of mane, no, mi te comprende. Okay, just like a misa ora botakla pa hasi algo. So it's not just about family, it's about friends, it's about co-workers, it's about anyone, teachers especially. Hey, this is what essa outra conversação ko bata na nang report i preba ito ko si tak na nota work me the school nang das pa mi say ina taman yung topic but it's important that everyone who's in your life or part of your life knows what you need. Itame por reconocer esa insang mane, something's not right, and how can I help you best?
So, mita pensa, some situations obviously where we choose our people, but we have situations where we don't choose our people, and the same por tabi with co-workers. What does it mean pa adulto nang ku tinga ADHD, whether it's diagnosed or undiagnosed, anto basta in the work environment, like what can it look like, what can it feel like panang, but also for the people around them?
I think it's how you approach the person in the situation. Because si ita specific co-worker, then a conversation is warranted. Ita mane, hey, manera ko papapya kumi, I really did not appreciate it, and moving forward, I would appreciate it if you don't do it again. See where that goes. Because timbiyan henta, please. I've seen those reactions. Mane, no, seta bo problema no dimi. Okay, I'll try again. Bisa minota apreciar mita bisando bo papapya kumi esa kita e manera kubo po approach me, of a manera kubo po papya kumi. And if it stays that way, but bisa well, tem cierto lugar que eu pode, tem cierto lugar não, but I've had people be able to do this. Bisa, well, você já que não tá respeitando como persona, me alaga HR sa, if moving forward, this is how we will communicate. Via email, or via message, whatever eta, pero personalmente, you can't come to me anymore. Ting HR, you should talk to your HR, obviously, department, pawaki ko ta feasible ding a workplace, pero most of the times, okay, just avoid the drama, just like bye. Let's do this. But it's important to have those conversations and put your boundaries, set them and stick to them. So, si boundary not tem consequence, that is not a boundary, and no one's going to take that seriously. And once there is a consequence, but think make sure to keep implementing it. And if that person is not respecting even that, then you have to go higher up. Typically, coworkers, they want to get along, so they should be able to have a conversation seeing derde persoon daarbij. But if not, then that's why they're there.
Yeah. En dan moet quiere opinione por dating miedo.
Claro.
No comienzamiento, it's like, oh, I'm gonna share this thing. You know, you're vulnerable when you share something
well,
like a diagnosis.
You don't have to say, hey, meeting ADHD, esa kita kung mita reagir. But ako explique, this is how I function, this is how I work. Y ding mi opinion, esa que lo traha mi ho asina. That's all you have to say. You don't have to go into details.
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with it.
Pero sí, então importa little things. So me quiere ko the ora gente pensa, oh my gosh, like something like that may require like, I don't know, complete revamping the, I don't know, organizational policies or whatever. Pero importa ko sang simple bani basta si pagkabado namin task, I don't mind si bata bisami na telephone of in person, but also put it in writing because I might
100%.
I might forget, right? Anto even
don't
though if
ever give
everybody
instructions verbally,
yeah,
it does not work.
Exactly. Mani met hij praat ko met echt omhande van building something, met learning something new. Met hij hoop leuk au in dia putting videos out there to explicaba com pasi kostang. It really does not work for me. Mani
you need the instructions.
Same, I need to be able to read it, right? Anto me dá um hobby prato sobre me portar de les no gente mostrando-me, pero se me nota bem esta written instruction, I'm like blah 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 blah, you know. But
that's the distractibility.
Yes.
Right?
But importante pa você pa mês também, regardless between ADHD of no, que você trabalha pa of no, passo me te querer também the moment you know that, bo por pidi para o qual que vamos ter, pero também ori bo por mais realístico que vamos que, okay, se me volg mane verbal instruction, then and if I don't make it, it's okay, bo sabe sobra. Anto importa simple things, mane importa babay volunteer na algo, anto nanga verbally explain something to you, I don't know how to build a dog house, anto not really work out, but porta mane not too hard on yourself, but sobra, yeah, eigenlijk ben the instructions to read, anto, you know, it's fine. Regardless of the idea of not, it's how brains work, right?
Exactly. Turhen tinang strengths, they have their weaknesses. Esa ito ungkos ko hopi na freak out. Namane parte dia diagnosa, assessment, we have to do an IQ test. No, tabay sali malo. Me tengo explica, no, hoy en día we don't look at that number anymore. IQ, when it comes to diagnosing, we don't care about it. We care about a different subtask ng kutabing. So working memory, we have to look at that. Itong strength of a weakness. Hopian ko ADHD, it's gonna be a weakness. Nosting processing speed, is that a strength or a weakness? Kung lihe ba do things. Verbal comprehension, hopi biyaha ko ADHD, it's not gonna work. So it's a lot of different aspects of the brain. So if you have ADHD of no, you're not going to be 100% capable of everything all the time.
No, exactly.
E pensei também da importante de escolha se não para algo, que já não hey, okay, vamos com essa que tá assim, miho, of mais fácil. So, para mim, a traditional way of schooling, it's based on like everyone has to be able to do this, and that's not the case for everyone. Tem gente assim, auditory processing tamiho, right? Tem gente tem que usar grafik na dilante, se não te compreender é som. Tem gente não pode ler é som de text, pero se é just número não pode nem outro. So it's a lot of meeting people where they're at, and children as well.
Anto, turns out, for everybody listening, kung oro ba tong adult, mani, cause ang kupertada ta really hard in school, oro ba tong adult, they get better in the sense ko, you will have choices. Anto, na school ko bibiyaha pa, sobra pati yung tuts, anto bating ko faldo ng curriculum, cause, you know, pero, mani, na trabaho, chances are, buta ba iting remte pabisa, basta some ding full text largo does not work for me. I'm gonna need the numbers. Send me the numbers until you will be able to find right a middle ground. Anto mi te quiere ko porta sitting parents listening ko yung diagnosis ko ADHD. You know, might sound scary, pero you know there are silver linings to becoming an adult. Ko uno bating mas ruimte pa advocate pa mo mas mitahaya.
100%.
Right? Anto chances are ko bota biting choices tambe di una bota end up to traha si bon nota pas ko un work culture or ko of ko provide whatever support it is that you need, there will be another one, right? Anto no semester hinka de nos cabes ding a bubble di Aruba basta ko portamo ting mes hobby choices. We live in a globalized world. Portamo Holanda sitting company nan ko to provide that support. Portamo America, portamo Colombia, wherever. Das mit der tame say if anything the silver lining the growing up ko but by a little bit more choices than you probably had growing up, right?
Yes, it is on a cliche, like do something you love.
Yeah.
Because then you'll never work a day in your life. But when you have ADHD as an adult, that is super important.
Yes.
So, si bota haciendo algo que mundane pabo, you're not gonna be interested, you're not gonna do it, and tu costa by sinti stress. Okay, meeting hase saki, but I'm procrastinating, and then acabando con mi mes, and then deadline's not like being met. So, yes, definitely, you know, choose your profession wisely. Choose something that you enjoy, because it will make your life much easier, happier, stress-free. Okay, stress-free is a big leap there, because there's other aspects que pode causar stress, pero you know, that's one thing.
In either geval, not a vital contributor.
Exactly. Yes.
Which I think is important, right? To not reduce the contributors by all means.
Do what you love.
Yes. Audrey, now start towards the end of this episode because time flies by.
Yes.
Pero, kiko ta costa who comes to your mind right now? Kung pensa ta super importante pa I repeat or for people to know?
That ADHD is not something attention seeking. You're not trying to get attention by behaving a certain way. It is just an immediate reaction. So it is about understanding the brain. A brain to just functioning differently. It's this part here in front that is not working. And to say that a parte of your brain could kind of rule how you're behaving. Right? So yes, we get a trigger, we have an emotion, and then it goes up front here. How are we going to behave? And the parte A, ADHD, not regulated. It's not enough. The neurotransmitter not getting that extra zap. The brain understand and react accordingly. We just go from feeling to behavior. And esse é hopi importante para compreender e não usar contra gente com ADHD. Hambo atrobe esse, they cannot help it. They try, they will talk to you in order for you to better understand what's going on. You know what's coming of Boporta helpful in the next situation, but it's not just for attention. Seta rabia, ay lagay pa so, basta inahay sukyar. It's not about that. And I don't even hear that about children. I hear that about adults.
Adults, yeah.
Ito usando pahaya kikikya. No, it's not about that. Then we're talking about someone who's manipulative.
Yeah.
And that's not what ADHD is. It's something you can't help. And it's about having conversations with the people closest to you. Kunapa comprende. It's nothing you should be ashamed of. It's just the way the brain functions. And ito algo ko to kuminsa de chiquito. So si di young, bo takar la, verdad, tu resa kinapasa, then you should look into it. Si ito algo ko di repente a kuminsa pabo, then ADHD will probably be ruled out. Then you're looking at other mental health disorders. anxiety, OCD, specifically of depression, bipolar, anything. But it's also important to rule out any medical things, thyroids, estrogen, progesterone, the sture e hormones lang. So it's important to go to your huisarts, have a good relationship with them.
Yes.
So you can have those conversations. Inang ta educa pa yuda guiabo. Hey, quizás, bangas itas aki where the estrogen is, of busaki amitawaki saki, quizás ba yung psicologo. Right? So a relationship with your huisarts is super, super importante. And I'm so grateful kung mahayong hobby mo.
Anto, mita henne all the time. Itang relasyon asin importante ku do not settle. So si bonota senti comfortable, e nota ku unta miho ke otro, eta ku botin ku find a fit for you.
Just like a therapist.
Yes. Anto, bohaisat tabaita undi most important players on the overall health, including the mental health.
Yes.
Dus bo kiar por ti un partner, un hende ko bo por bai con ele ko questions, ko ta comprende abo, ko bo por ta truthful con ele. Please, people, that is very important. Be truthful.
Sí. And if you go to the huisarts for the first time, ask them questions. Mane, hey, kiko ta bo thought on mental health. Basta ting par ko ta bisa, no, I don't believe in that. Ami not bay verwijs bo ng psikolog, ami not bay mandabo respaldo sa kung psikiater, ami not bay HCSA. So those are truly, truly important things to take into consideration, especially si bo ta feeling like there's a lot of symptoms going on, and it might be ADHD. Let me try and figure this out. So Baha'is arts to stop one for everything.
And for anybody listening ku portata sinti ku nanti un loved one or un friend, un family member, me just quer repeat what Audrey said, imite querer local ku mi mesame arfar, approach it with compassion,
understanding, open mind.
Exactly. Anto mi te quere pahasi tudo sei possível e mais fácil também corda com outro gente sua reação of basta behavior que não pertene probably has nothing to do with you, and me saca sei porta sometimes a little difficult to swallow.
Yes.
Pero me quer que se once que bohinka sei den boca cabeça é ser hope mais fácil para bo hasi coisas bespreekbaar e que bota vai mais open também para other possibilities para sobre que gente não tá probando de atacar não tá probando de manipular in most cases by all means supporting manipulative people
but that's an added disorder.
Yeah, exactly. No so piano que não ADHD specifically, pero so talk to them anto yes me por visa. I'm super grateful for my family in the sense ko me dating parents lang ko tata supportive e of course by all means not perfect pero ang kasi nabasa all the way up to adulthood mi por bisa nang ko basta after yung big feeling of a big emotion or whatever this is what was happening to we're fine pero también everybody else that comes in my life, my friends, school, just work with it, right? Anto, i-obviously kasatami.
Sí.
But tabata open pa, have those conversations with ask my therapist, sobra tating ko sang kuportas, even hard for me to explain. Anto, by all means, you also get to feel a certain way, no? May kabisa say, si, pahena nang kuportati yung hena ting kas, of un familiar, un hena hopi close na nang kuting yung kondisyon, maybe it does get tough for you as well. Pa-manage for a while but figuring it out what that means in your family setting, and if you need help with that as well, no sleep on it. But when nobody create like grudges, but when nobody create maybe negative feelings towards a persona, you also might need to process some stuff. Pa parents tambe mi te kere ko et hope importante pa nang haya a mental support as well, right?
100%. There's no shame in getting help.
Thank you so much, Audrey, for today. I appreciate talking to you always. Patur persona ko at tune in later. Babo rewatch episode aki bakriba kula fam so YouTube so Facebook. It is sincerely Carolina Tame. Riba chamar so busca che bakriba bo favorite podcasting platform, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcast. Audrey, thank you once again.
Thank you. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Thank you to my awesome sponsors for allowing me to talk about whatever I want to talk about today. We talked about ADHD and adults. Thank you again. Total La Roche Posay. I appreciate you so much. Thank you Hamas Lendi for suggesting this really fun topic. Yes, I will see you again next week. Let me know Kiko Bosuker Pape di jealous, eating anything go no sta, keep it in mind. Algo mi look touch base riba jelita. Nós temos pleno temporada de acompanhamento e election, and thought this also can bring some big emotions and feelings in people. And to mitigate it importante para nós touch base untigriba esse. So I will be talking about that. I don't know if next week, but we say that algo como eu quero touch base riba jele pa sobre nossa ding temporada fini aya. There's a lot of emotions and feelings who might come up anto nos quer pa turhende obviously ta equipped with some tools. If possible, of at least wanang escucha a thing or two for lead nang babusca those tools, but make better choices during these very loaded months. Thank you so much. Happy weekend. Be nice. Be kind. Espero pa siya algo nobo. To that it will help you to make better choices. Thank you so much. Bye. I'm Carolina, and I am the host of Sincerely Carolina, a series of educational conversations about current social issues with local and international experts. Make sure you tune in every Saturday on Cool FM from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Bye!